Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I'm going to be doing a little bit something different, and that is to react Carrie, a Raccoon City story plot episode. And I'll leave you the link of the channel in the description down below if you want to watch it yourself. This is a Resident Evil web series about, I guess Carrie? I don't know. But I'm I'm going to watch it and find out. By the way, I just saw an article about this and I just got curious of wondering what it is. Umbrella's Reckoning. The beginner of light. Okay. Raccoon Times. Now, I would normally read this, but I'm just not going to bother, even though I want. See a sign that says Burger Kong. Oh my goodness. So it looks like there's a outbreak. Is it outbreak? Or some sort of Harry, a Raccoon City story. Interesting. September 26, 1998. 10:08 p.m. Raccoon City.
Most people afford the luxury of bliss, never knowing the bad stuff that dwells in the negative space of their tedious lives, just out of sight. As long as the clock stays punched and indulgences are satisfied, then all is well. Reality stays at bay. The luxury of bliss. But when an entire city becomes a literal hell on earth, bliss goes right out the window.
This kind of reminds me of
1023 dispatch arriving on site near Central Street.
In my line of work, you get used to seeing the horrors that people are capable of.
I've got multiple 1033s in progress. It's a goddamn war zone down there.
The murders and mystery become mundane. Eventually, every day boils down to a choice. Crack the case or let it crack you. A while ago, when prospects were brighter, I considered myself pretty lucky. A hotshot detective for the RPD, drunk off my own convictions.
2 out of 9. I can't tell who's who down there. Too much activity. Over.
Eventually, I'd come to consider that lucky meant making it through the day without reaching for a bottle or a bullet. Fast forward to tonight, and I'm firing bullet after bullet into a guy who seemed like he didn't mind that half his face has been chewed off, all while drowning in a downpour of rain instead of a bottle of single malt. Despite her growing scarcity over the years, I was convinced Lady Luck and I still had some kind of working relationship going on. After tonight, I was convinced she was just another Jack Street harlot, and I was fresh out of cash. The city was a wailing crescendo of sirens, gunfire, death. I felt numb to it. Raccoon turning into a metropolis wasn't the start of things. I was already past the point of no return.
Okay, I gotta pause this for a moment because I believe this guy right here is narrating the whole story of what's going on. And the reason why I'm reacting to this video of the pilot episode is because the first episode is going to premiere probably this month on April 15th, 2022. And I'm kind of anxious and curious to wonder of how this story turns out. But if you want me to react to these videos like this, I want you to press the like button because this is going to be very important.
Already past the point of no return. 3 years ago, I'd been on a case that nearly killed me. Investigating a fanatic with a god complex and a personal army. A cult that was ready to die for a doomsday prophecy. I went after him. Infiltrated one of the worst right-wing cults that made Waco look like the Partridge Family. In the end, the guy had something worse than an end-of-days spook story. Evidence that Umbrella Pharmaceuticals, the owners of this town, playing God with viral weaponry. And the RPD was in on it. But it all went south. My leads turned to ash, and I was given a choice. Keep my mouth shut or take my chances with the wolves. Threw down my badge and never looked back.
Oh dear.
Time passed. The case was buried. Anyone involved that wasn't bribed had left town or ended up at the bottom of a river. I moved on. Took a gig as an investigative gun for hire out of some two-bit joint, hoping I wasn't worth the price of a corporate finance hit. Things seemed quiet. Then came the cannibal murders and the whole Stars fiasco out in the woods, and I was back to looking over my shoulder again. Paranoia ate me like a cancer for weeks. The Stars who survived reported viral monstrosities at an illegal genetic research facility hidden away in the hills of the Arklay Forest with Umbrella's name and signature logo all over it. I should have felt justified, but I felt nothing.
Oh dear.
Eagle Nest Investigative Solutions. I already spent enough time kicking myself over the name. Aside from that, it was the only place I had left that wasn't in bed with Umbrella. Truth is, I was just a few months shy from leaving altogether. Hospitals had been overrun since yesterday, and the RPD would be next if it wasn't already. I needed to grab what I could and get the hell out of Dodge. At least the rioters hadn't found a reason to torch the place yet. Tremors of pain shot through my arm. Each jolt felt like a stark reminder that I was probably dead already. The Magnum had been a gift. An old friend's attempt at making my parting with the RPD a little more bearable. I could kiss him, assuming he was still alive. The bandages weren't much, but paired with the unfinished bottle of scotch, it would do for now. Bloodied arm or not, I still had loose ends to take care of. The chaos outside had only sped up an already ticking time bomb. If I was a carrier for whatever was infecting Raccoon, I could eat a bullet and finish the job myself when the time came.
Hmm.
As for Umbrella, they buried my career. But there was no way they could bury something this big. I could only hope they'd reap what they had sown.
Oh no.
Someone or something is coming. Female zombie.
I didn't have much time.
Oh my goodness. To be continued. That's interesting. I cannot wait for the first episode to premiere on the 15th of this month. Well, all I have to say about that video, that pilot episode, is that I'm 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 interested to see how this goes. I don't have any words about it. I don't have any words about it because this pilot episode already got me interested with the series itself. And if you want to watch it for yourself, the link will be under the description down below. It had 2,489 views. And it was premiered on May 21st, 2021, which is like years and months ago. Excuse me. And the channel of this video is Carrie, a Raccoon City Story. Um, I'll leave you the link to the channel in the description down below. All I have to say is that I'm very interested to see how this turns out, and I cannot wait for the first episode. So, with that in mind, ladies and gentlemen, that is my reaction. I kind of like it, and at least I'm not playing the game, because I tried to play Resident Evil games, and it still puts me in a scary situation. So, I don't do well with scary games other than, like, let's just say, probably Fatal Frame. Probably the closest one. The only time I got farther of almost beating the Resident Evil game is Resident Evil 5. Even though it's not much of a scary game in anyone else's opinion. But regardless, I still feel way too intense whenever an enemy is about to come and attack the characters. So, yeah, that's all I have to say about that. But thank you so much for watching. Be sure to leave a like and subscribe.